It took a little more than 3 hours for the jury to come back with the verdict of guilty on both charges of murder for disgraced former South Carolina attorney Alex-Murdaugh. This case has lasted 28 days. They've had more than 70 witnesses, more than 800 pieces of evidence. But again, in a little more than 3 hours, jurors believed that they had heard what they needed to hear in order to convict Alex-Murdaugh of murder in the death of his wife Maggie and his son Paul. We have team coverage in Colleton County right outside of the courthouse. We're going to begin now with Andrea Mock.
That's right, Darcy. And I have to be honest with you, just as a journalist and speaking about this case to people, when they said they thought that the jury would deliberate for days and into the weekend, every time I said, no, I don't think so. As somebody who has listened to the testimony from the day one, this has been a very strong case for the prosecution, and I feel like Creighton Waters, Alan Wilson, John Metters, they did an amazing job in the last couple of days during the closing arguments and then during the rebuttal of really piecing together all of those points. I mean, like you just said, Darcy, more than 70 witnesses. Jurors, no doubt, got testimony fatigue. Sometimes there was incredibly specific testimony, things about cell phones, things about the crime scene that I know the jurors were saying to themselves, why am I hearing this? Why am I hearing this right now? What relevance does this have? And then basically what Creighton Waters did and what John Metters did was connect every one of those dots together in their closing argument, and I really believe made such a strong case. Guilty, guilty, guilty. That is what the verdict came back today. Now, I want to go over some of the strongest moments I felt in court for the prosecution. Dr. Ellen Reamer. Number one, she was a likable witness. This is a brilliant woman. She is a doctor. She is a forensic pathologist. She has performed more than 5,500 autopsies, and she said she was positive she didn't want to hear any of the defense theory that the second shot that killed Paul Murdaugh was fired at point-blank range from the back of the head. Now, why did the Alex Murdaugh's lawyers want you to think that that was possible? Well, that was when they floated that idea of two shooters. So she said, absolutely not, it's not possible. And then if you remember, in the last couple of days, they had the witness, Dr. Kenneth Kinsey, back on the stand. And that was when Alan Wilson came up and did the questioning again of Kenneth Kinsey when he was recalled after the defense rested. They did that reenactment in the door. I thought that was a very powerful moment where he showed that how it was possible, how on earth was it possible for someone to shoot the shot, shimmy past Paul in the doorway, and then move the long barrel rifle to execution style to execute him. So that was a very powerful moment. And then today, again, talking about this growing storm, talking about all the things in Alex Murdaugh's life that led to this. John Metters today gave some great sound about what it was like on June 7th for Alex Murdaugh. Listen to this.
Whatever was going on in his mind, his world's collapsing. It's coming down. All these worlds coming down financially. He's confronted that day by somebody's law firm. Where's this check? He's got another hearing coming up. It's a motive. Don't have to have it. But yeah, it's there. And is this rational? You remember when he said that? Is that rational? Was it rational to be on the side of the road and claim you're shot? And when you're in the ambulance, and go watch this if you need to, and you're talking to the officer in the ambulance, and you say, what happened? Oh, by the way, he wanted to kill himself. He called 911. He called 911. When he told the officer in the ambulance, well, what happened? Well, some guy shot me. He even did a sketch. He faked the sketch. But what did he tell the guy in the ambulance? It sounded like a shot.
Yeah, that was very powerful testimony, and they even put up a full screen for the jury saying growing storm, talking about all the things leading up to June 7th that were going on with Alex Murdaugh. He was facing a Paul was facing a criminal charge in the boat case. He was facing a civil lawsuit. Jeannie Seckinger was onto the fact that he was stealing money from PMPD. Maggie and Paul were onto the fact that he was using opiates again. And then, of course, on June 7th, that phone call saying that his father, unfortunately, was terminal and there was nothing else that could be done. That growing storm, they said, was his motive.